This is a scheduled 10-round featherweight bout, actually an over-the-weight featherweight fight, 128-pound weight limit. Rafael Ruelas out of Arleta, California in the San Fernando Valley, born in Mexico, moved to the United States 11 years ago with that record of 20-0, 17 by KO. Very smooth stand-up boxer and a fast starter, going up against Felipe de Jesus, the 28-year-old out of Sonora, Mexico, now living in San Bernardino, California. 33 up, 6 down, 22 by KO. De Jesus' last fight on July 30th stopped Jorge Palomares in 4, and De Jesus, a classic Mexican brawler, calls himself an inside fighter rather than a brawler. Tries to constantly pressure his opponents. Let's see how Ruelas handles that.
Ruelas starts off fast. I mean, he's got this combative nature. He's got very tall physique, as you can see, and he can stand outside and pop if he wants to. The Goosens who train him said our problem is he's too combative. He wants to come in and knock the guy out early. So let's see what he does early.
And De Jesus getting off the good left hook. Ruelas facing a southpaw, but he said he has no problems with southpaws. But right now, De Jesus trying to wing away.
Well, both men are throwing bombs, no question about that. These very long hooks that De Jesus is throwing are landing about 1 out of every 3, but they shook up Ruelas almost immediately.
Referee is Hank Ellis-Prue out of Sacramento. The scoring on a 10-point must system, handled by 3 judges. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8, and the bell saves the fighter, but only in the 10th and final round.
Well, the feeling was in the camp of Ruelas that they might just have put him in too tough today, but he's got to do something at this stage of his career to prove that he can be in there with real tough guys. He's got a tough battler in there today, and Felipe de Jesus. Ooh, low blow by Ruelas, very low, not called by the referee.
Ruelas with a good 5 inches in height advantage at 5'10", and with a 74-inch reach has 9 inches in that department on De Jesus.
And you would think with that kind of advantage he'd stand outside and throw a heavy jab on him and just drop the right hand when he's ready. But again, as we say, one of his good and bad points is he's combative. Ruelas is, and he wants to fight.
Just under 1 minute to go in this first round. Rafael Ruelas in the green with white trim, from a family of 13, 6 brothers, 7 sisters, and his older brother Gabriel, a highly regarded junior lightweight prospect. Although he was stalled by a broken elbow earlier this year, he is back sparring, expected to resume sometime next month.
2 bright young prospects. It would be a shame if that injury waylays him very long, but they claim that he's fully recovered.
Jesus told to keep his punches up. And we have come to the end of the first round. Back in Sacramento, we are set for the second round. Rafael Ruelas, a 19-year-old, 5'10" featherweight, going against 28-year-old Felipe de Jesus. De Jesus in the blue with black trim.
You know, he says Ruelas says he has no trouble with left-handers. We had a little bit of trouble in that first round. Certainly showing him, he just got nailed again with a good left hook by De Jesus. De Jesus certainly is not gun-shy, is he? He just comes right in and is willing to take a punch to land that looping hook of his. What I was referring to, Marv, is he doesn't give any motion. He's standing right in front of him. He doesn't try to get one foot outside the other. There's no technical expertise in handling a left-hander. He's just trying to bomb it out with De Jesus. Might be a big mistake with a tough kid like this.
Keep busy. There you go. There you go.
I mentioned at the start that Ruelas has been noted as a very fast starter, but De Jesus kept him off balance at the start. I was wondering what this guy was up to recently.
Well, he's better prepared now. He brings a knife, fork, and a spoon on all that gold. He's ready to eat in case he's invited.
It's all right. There you go. Come on.
Well, I would say De Jesus has taken Ruelas out of his game plan. Not only didn't he start fast, but he's a little confused by this left-hander right now. He's trying to solve it, but getting hit while he's trying to solve it.
And the downside on Rafael Ruelas is that he does not move that well, and until recently his level of opposition was suspect. He certainly could be out-muscled by a physically stronger opponent, and that opponent may be Felipe De Jesus.
De Jesus holding his own through that first round certainly got Ruelas out of his game plan. He doesn't move at all. I mean, when you say little motion, no motion is better. He's right in front of him. He just doesn't move to the side, gives no angles.
Just under 1 minute to go in the second round. First part of our boxing doubleheader coming up. It'll be Jorge Paez, the IBF featherweight champion, going for the crown of Tony Lopez, who is the IBF junior lightweight champ. Good right hand by Ruelas, and De Jesus able to counter.
They're pretty even here. They're giving them about even in this round. Just when it looks like Ruelas is getting on track, back comes De Jesus with some powerful counter punches.
Final seconds of the second round. It is scheduled for 10. Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman, a huge fan of Rafael Ruelas. In fact, he attends most of Ruelas' fights and workouts.
He goes 3 times a week to his workouts. Would you call that scene Hackman and the Golden Connection? See all that gold, man? That's Mr. T.
Yes, I know those are 2 guys that'll be getting together after the bout. Good right hand by Ruelas. And he lands the combination to put De Jesus down. First knockdown of the bout. That's the time remaining in the third round.
Got plenty of time. Those punches hurt. They were right on the money. Beautiful combinations. Ruelas showing why they consider him such a bomber.
They're yelling from the corner of Ruelas, we've got a whole round. Don't rush it.
Now, this is what they refer to when they say this guy's all fighter. He just wants to come ahead and get this thing over with.
Rafael Ruelas in the green with white trim. Felipe De Jesus in the blue with black. Ruelas getting off to a slow start. Seemed to be puzzled by the southpaw style of De Jesus, but has been able to land here in the third round. And we can see the blood trickling from the right eye of De Jesus.
You can see the inexperience in Ruelas in spite of the 20 fights that he's got. He just swarmed all over him instead of just taking his time and taking him out, which is what his corner wanted him to do. Now he's kind of paused a little bit, waiting for that surge of adrenaline to come back and try to finish this guy off. There goes the mouthpiece of De Jesus.
And the referee, Hank Ellis Brew, providing a timeout for Felipe De Jesus.
Too much time, baby. Let's go.
And Ellis Brew brought the mouthpiece to the corner of Rafael Ruelas. That is the opponent's corner. They washed it off, and then he returned it to Felipe De Jesus.
Yeah, but they washed it off with root beer instead of water.
Just under 1 minute to go in round 3. De Jesus going down early in the round.
Ruelas way too careless now. He's just winding up, and he has no regard for defense. He can get caught. He tries to switch hit back and forth, tries to confuse De Jesus, but De Jesus can come back.
And he landed a left-handed freeze. Ruelas. Roundhouse attempts by De Jesus.
Jesus fighting back after taking some terrific shots from De Jesus.
Good right hand by Ruelas. Low blow by De Jesus. We'll be back in a moment.
Series of hooks, left, right, and left that put down De Jesus, and it looked like he was going to be gone, but it was too much over-anxiousness on the part of Ruelas. And here they go again.
This is round 4. Marv Albert with the fight doctor. Ferdy Pacheco from Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. Rafael Ruelas in the green. Felipe De Jesus in the blue. And again, the request to keep the punches up. It is really strange to see a featherweight boxer who stands 5'10". That might be the boxing equivalent of a 6'10" point guard in basketball.
Yeah, it is amazing, and he should take advantage of that height. He's done pretty well up to now, though. He stands straight up. He's not leaning in toward De Jesus as some tall guys do, but he just has no motion. That comes with experience. He certainly has dynamite in his fist.
Jesus is a natural 126-pounder going against a natural 130-pounder. This is an over-the-weight featherweight bout.
Now, subtly, Ruelas changes to right jabs instead of left jabs. He just keeps switching back and forth. I bet this guy's wondering, what is this I got in front of him? He comes with the left, he comes with the right jab.
And Jesus continues to lunge to attempt to get to Ruelas because of that 9-inch reach advantage. Right hand that grazed De Jesus. And Jorge Paez psyching himself as he prepares to go up against Tony Lopez. That is coming up. Tony Lopez to defend his IBF Junior lightweight title.
Ruelas giving ground to the relentless De Jesus. His corner doesn't like that, so don't back up. Push him back, but here's De Jesus making Ruelas give ground.
Ferdy Ruelas does take a good shot. And he took a good shot right there. He was knocked down earlier this year by Roberto Rijos, but he got up and then stopped Rijos in the next round. He has never been cut nor seriously injured, but the left hooks have been the answer for De Jesus.
He certainly has landed them in every round. He has landed at least one resounding punch, but as you say, Ruelas takes a good shot. Ruelas just playing with that left jab, just trying to keep him off and then throwing a hard right hand.
That's it for round 4. The Toyota. Big crowd on hand here at Arco Arena in Sacramento. Capacity is just over 16,000. It might reach that total. They are here to watch Jorge Paez and Tony Lopez. That's the second part of our boxing twin bill. And there is the pride of Sacramento, Tony Lopez. This is round 5 of a scheduled 10-rounder. Featherweights, Rafael Ruelas in the green and Felipe De Jesus in the light blue.
And these fighters are trading rounds here. Just when it looks like De Jesus is out for a quick afternoon, he comes back and takes the next round. I have it 38-37. That's pretty close considering De Jesus has been down, and it was a 10-8 round in the third round.
Yes, De Jesus going down in the third.
Just when you think this De Jesus is through, he starts backing up Ruelas, and once he backs him up, he's a target for that big left hook. He lands 1 or 2 of those, just enough to push him over the edge of winning the round.
And again, it looks like there is a problem over the right eyebrow of De Jesus. Cut is reopened.
That's been one of his troubles. That cut has stopped him in several fights, and if it continues to open, that's a big problem for him. Just past the midway point of round 5. Ruelas fighting what could be described as a lazy fight right now. He's certainly not carrying the action. He's content to let the other guy get braver and stronger and stronger.
We're told that Rafael Ruelas has been working on his jab, but that is something we have not seen here over the first 5 rounds.
Even his corner starts to holler. You got to get going. You got to start using muscle because he is too lazy. He's just not doing it.
Ruelas also not decisively taking advantage of that 9-inch reach advantage.
And again, the 2 hard hooks by De Jesus. When it looks like no one's really scoring, he comes in with a couple of hard hooks that turns the judges a little bit and said, hey, this guy's punching hard.
Final seconds of the 5th. It is on to round 6, and this only the 3rd time in 21 fights that Ruelas has gone past 5 rounds. Rafael Ruelas, considered a hot prospect. 19-year-old featherweight, record of 20-0, 17 by knockout, and going up against the veteran 28-year-old Felipe De Jesus. De Jesus in the light blue trunks out of Sonora, Mexico, now living in San Bernardino, California. De Jesus at 33-6, 22 by KO.
And for the first time in 2 rounds, you get some kind of action from Ruelas. He's punching hard. His corner must have really chewed him out. And De Jesus' corner, there was not conversation, there was work as they worked on his eye with Inswell and with an anticoagulant ointment.
And as mentioned earlier, De Jesus has had cut problems. He has lost several bouts because of stoppages on cuts. He's been busted up around both eyes, has considerable scar tissue around the eyebrow area, and has also suffered severe cuts on his lips. Not a pretty picture.
Calls for career change in due time that keeps up. The warning that he keeps getting is because, oh, nice driving set of punches by Ruelas. That's what he needs to get these rounds start to go back in his corner. Right now, the fight is dead even, 47-47 on my card.
And that lunging style of De Jesus contributes to headbutts and cuts to both himself and opponents.
Well, the warnings, I started to say the warnings that De Jesus gets because he's so short and the other guy's so tall that you have to punch up to punch to the body. It's very difficult to do, and some of those punches will go south to the border.
De Jesus at 5'5", giving away 5 inches to Ruelas. In fact, the meeting of a southpaw and a right-hander can also lead to awkward clashes of stances that produce headbutts, along with the normal style of De Jesus.
Another big hook by De Jesus, but not enough. Not enough to stop the surge of Ruelas. You know, another thing, when you get a guy this tall and a guy this short, and a left hand and a right hand, it's a miracle they're not stepping on each other's foot. You know, when you get a very tall guy with awkward long legs like that, he'll step on the little guy. But they haven't. They have not met that close. Nice series of punches, starting at the body and ending up at the head.
Coming up on 10 seconds remaining in the 6th round. That uppercut did not connect, although the crowd reacted.
A series of driving punches by Ruelas, which actually drove De Jesus back up against the ropes and won that round for the first time for Ruelas. So we now have it 57-56, and the first round he's won in a little while.
Scoring is on the 10-point must system, handled by 3 judges, all from Sacramento. This is round 7. Slated for 10, Marv Albert and the Fight Doctor, Bertie Pacheco from Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. First part of our boxing doubleheader. Later on, it'll be Jorge Paez and Tony Lopez.
Going toe-to-toe now. That's what Ruelas needed to do. He's not lazy anymore, and he's trying to get this guy out of here.
And the Jesus is hurt. De Jesus cannot get away. Ruelas just teeing off. Oh, pounding being delivered by Rafael Ruelas, but De Jesus remains on his feet.
And punching back, which is why the referee will not stop it as long as he's punching back. He is wide open now. Ruelas ought to wait till he misses and counter.
Jesus went to the canvas in the third round. That was early third, and then was able to stay away. In fact, fought back.
What a tough guy this guy, De Jesus is. He is taking. Oh, that's it. That is it.
Referee Hank Ellisbrew has stopped the fight in the 7th round. Rafael Ruelas stopping Felipe De Jesus. He was providing a pounding, and Ellisbrew decided that is it. Rafael Ruelas took a little time to solve the southpaw slants of the tough Mexican Felipe De Jesus, and then finally the fight was stopped.
A series of punches. This is after De Jesus is already in a lot of trouble. But look at the way he holds his gloves up. This veteran is not going to be clean right there on the ropes. He has got his hands up, and they're hitting gloves, and that's why the referee did not stop it. Then he comes back out to the middle of the ring, fights some more, and then the fight is stopped when he starts taking this kind of a shellacking.
So Ruelas is now 21-0, making it 18 by knockout. Here's the official announcement.
127 of the 7th round. Winner by knockout and still undefeated, Rafael Ruelas.
The official time, 1:27 of the 7th round. The victory to the 19-year-old Rafael Ruelas out of Arleta, California.